Yo, what's up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video, and this is going to be the third and final Black Ops 4 beta kind of review, criticism, opinions, thoughts, and everything like that. And I pretty much covered at least most of the important bases when it comes down to this game, pretty much in the last two videos in the different categories or whatnot. But in this one, it kind of made me think a little bit in terms of how I want to close this out. Now, I know I haven't really talked about the score streaks, but to be honest, there's not really that much to talk about other than the fact that they need to be buffed, and I'm sure that we're going to get more on launch. And not only that, I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a hater or an orbital VSAT or a Blackbird or whatever it's going to be called in this game. So not much to worry about in that aspect. But yeah, score streaks need a buff, and that's all I got to say about that. But when thinking about how to finish off this series and do this commentary specifically, I was thinking to myself, well, the one big question that kept on popping up, or should I say two questions, are basically, is this Call of Duty, and is this game for everybody? And that depends. The answer is not really a definitive one. It's a mixed bag, just like the game itself, but at the same time, the answer itself really depends on what they do for release. In other words, how's Blackout going to turn out? Everybody's expecting good things from Zombies, so there's little to no worry about there. Campaign is gone, so that's pretty much non-existent. And the thing is, it's pretty much just all about the multiplayer and the Blackout at this point. We've gotten a taste of the multiplayer, so it's still a very big question mark. But in terms of traditional multiplayer, it really depends on the changes that they implement by the time the release comes out. On the patches, the changes, and all that kind of stuff, are they going to be the right kind of changes? Now, the good news and good signs are the fact that these guys have obviously been backpedaling since pre-alpha, when they got feedback to the people that they called in to test out their game or whatnot, right? And to give them feedback. So the good news, the fact that they've been backpedaling, is actually a good sign that things are going to change for the better. But even with that being said, there's been a decent amount of changes that have been implemented. In my humble opinion, and my experience is that yes, this is still Call of Duty, but with a twist and with a little bit more of a focus on teamwork. So even in that aspect, it doesn't make it as Call of Duty. But when you put everything together, and when you put all these different aspects of the game together in one, and just try to look at it from every single aspect, I would say right now at this point, yes, it is more of a Call of Duty than it was in pre-alpha. Obviously, none of us have played that except for the people that got called in or whatnot, which were a few of the pros or whatnot that went in there, from what I understand, from what I've gathered from the internet. But as of right now, yes, the game does feel like Call of Duty, but to a lot of people, it may not, simply because of the fact that they're not as open to the whole teamwork thing. I mean, I love to play solo. You guys know that. And that's another big question mark, is how is free-for-all going to play? Is free-for-all going to play good? I mean, sometimes I even wonder, because I love free-for-all, sometimes I even wonder if they're even going to put free-for-all into the game, but I hope they do. If they don't bring free-for-all into the game, then I'm going to be really pissed. Because again, they're just forcing you to play a certain way. So it really just depends on the patches. And in the previous videos that I made, I was talking about how it seems like in certain aspects of the game, they're just forcing you to do this or to do that or to play this way, when Call of Duty is not really about forcing anybody to do anything. Call of Duty is about giving the people choice and let them do whatever the hell they want. So that's the aspect that makes it feel different, so to speak, and that I personally disagree upon. But as you can see here, this game, the connection is pretty decent. So as you can see, you can still kill people relatively fast, and especially if they're weak, you can kill them very fast. And the big question also is, how's hardcore going to be? Because there's a possibility that the hardcore community this time may be bigger than ever, simply because of the fact that a lot of people are not open to the new time to kill change. Some people are very open to it, some people don't give a damn, and some people are very open, are actually very opposed to the aspect. I mean, some people even requested to have like, let's say, a 125 at the most. So again, all of that could be subject to change, although I don't think it will. But at the same time, I wouldn't be too surprised if it wasn't. If they change the time to kill a little bit by the time the full release comes around, I think that'll make a lot of fans really happy. But the thing is, remember, the way the connection works in this game with the lag comp and all that kind of stuff, or the lag latency or whatever you want to call it, it does play a role as well. So, and it also depends on the specialists. There's some specialists that give you a boost, and then there's the armor and all that kind of stuff. In my personal opinion, after they patched it, the armor was hardly noticeable, but at the same time, you guys might have a different experience because you never know. You know, everybody runs into all sorts of mixtures of different things into the game, so everybody has their own experiences and their own opinions. So, so yeah, all in all, the answer right now isn't really that definitive. I mean, in my personal opinion and experience, yes, it is Call of Duty, but again, the changes that have been implemented thus far may be enough for other people with their different opinions and experiences for it to not be like Call of Duty to them, because everybody has their own views on the game. Everybody has their own opinions on what the game should be or shouldn't be, and what should be implemented, what shouldn't be implemented. So, and the thing is that makes it interesting is that there's a lot of people, there's all sorts of different skill gaps when it comes to Call of Duty. Some people, granted, most people are casual players, believe it or not. The thing is, even though we didn't see that much of that in the beta, obviously, for reasons I've already explained, but most people are casual players, so a lot of them are really, really opposed to the time to kill, and I can understand where they're coming from. Even though my opinion is slightly a little bit different, I still have a very big understanding because I know that when it comes to Call of Duty, if you change too much of something to where the experience for any particular player makes the biggest difference to them specifically, then the game may or may not be for them. And that's the other question: is this game for everybody? And the thing is, there's no definitive answer for that either. And for the same reasons as I discussed, is this Call of Duty or not? And the thing is, the good news, in my opinion, I would say it's 60, maybe 65% or so of traditional Call of Duty, and then you got your other, 30-35% of basically the new changes. And believe it or not, even with the way the specialists work, the teamwork aspect of the game, and all that kind of stuff, when you put all that together, and a couple of the limitations and stuff like that, so when you put all those things together, it does make a big difference, along with the time to kill or whatnot. Those little things right there, the way the specialists work, the time to kill and all that, they make the biggest difference. And in terms of the way the game feels as well, it almost feels like the game is in a certain way, like it's either purposely like a mixture of all the previous Black Ops games, or it's like a game that's struggling to find its own identity in a sense. So this game, as of right now, when you look at it from every single aspect, it really, really is a mixed bag. And these next few months before the full release on October 12th are really going to determine which direction this game heads in terms of popularity, as well as in terms of whether or not it's going to be more for everybody, whether it's going to be more casual, more competitive, whether it's going to be more towards the Call of Duty side or more towards the other thing that they were trying to implement with this game. So, but as of right now, like I said in the beginning of the video, evidence shows that they've been backtracking more towards the Call of Duty side. So I think they're definitely going to do that. They've gotten plenty of feedback from us. I'm sure they've seen videos, they've seen Reddit posts, they've seen tweets. So when you put everything together, though, along with the data that they got from the beta itself, they should, at least in theory, change the game for the better. And it is Treyarch, so up until full release, I would say, in my opinion, there's still, especially since the fact that they've already changed a few things during beta, but now that they've got a whole couple months or whatnot, they can really change a lot of things. And I hope, for the traditional multiplayer's sake, that they don't focus too much, because we all know that Blackout is going to need a ton of updating constantly, and changes and rebalancing and all that kind of stuff, and additions to keep everybody constantly satisfied. So I hope that the multiplayer aspect of the game doesn't suffer because of that. But at the same time, I think it's something that they can. I mean, with the multiplayer aspect, though, the thing that keeps me enthusiastic is the fact that the changes that most of us have requested, pretty much, can be done with a patch. It's not like we're asking them to like erase the maps and make us new ones or anything like that. So all these changes can easily be implemented over time, and let's hope they do it in time. Let's hope they do it by release, and even a month or 2 months after release, because there's still things that people would want them to iron out a month to 2 months after release as well, because no Call of Duty ships perfectly, as we know. So, but yeah, that's all I got for this one, guys. So the answer really isn't a definitive one, but as of right now, all signs point to good things. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we should take our eye off the ball. So, and that's all I got for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and the commentary, and let all opinions be known down below. And if you enjoyed the video, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.